So for our project hypothesis, it was to focus on migration from Middle East and African countries and their integration into Spain. So for our first interviewer, we interviewed a man named Abdul. We asked him what his job was, and he said that he works at the supermercat next to Carrer de Montaner 14. We then asked him if he feels a part of the Spanish and Catalan community, and then he responded with he would say so. He said he feels comfortable going anywhere with his family, and he said that he feels pretty integrated into the Catalan community. We then asked him if he liked his life in Spain, and he said yes. He moved here with his family about 8 years ago, and he said he works hard for a better life, and he works hard to give them a better life. We then asked him if he's ever had problems with racism or discrimination in the city. He said, I don't think so. I've never had a huge problem that has caused a fight, nothing that could be tied to racism specifically. And then lastly, we asked him if how long he's lived in Spain for, and he said 8 years, and he will continue to live here for the rest of his life.
All right, so next we talked and took a different perspective and talked with a girl named Maria. We saw her on the streets and decided to ask her a little bit about her life. We asked her first, have you lived in Spain your whole life? And she said, yes, I've been born and raised here, and her parents actually migrated here from Morocco. And then what is your job here in Barcelona? And she said that she works at the Adidas store in La Rambla. Next, we asked her, do you feel part of the Spanish and Catalan community? And she said, yes, definitely. Me and my family are very proud Catalans. But she did say that she struggled sometimes with being a second generation and not completely connected with either community sometimes. And then next we asked her, do you like your life in Spain? And she had a hard emphasis on, yes, she loves it and she can't see herself living in anywhere else in the world. And then finally we asked her, have you ever experienced any racism or discrimination in your life? And she said, I try to surround myself with people that love me for who I am, and don't know if I can say I've ever had a racism encounter besides sometimes not feeling a part of either community.
So we then decided to travel to the Gothic Quarter, and we met a man named Hassan, and he gave a pretty different perspective compared to the last two people we interviewed. We asked him where he was from specifically, and he said Casablanca, Morocco. We then asked him how long he's lived in Barcelona, and he said he's lived in Barcelona for 7 years now. We then asked him whether he's ever experienced racist or discriminatory encounters in Spain. And he said definitely, actually. He said people tend to shy away from me because of the color of my skin or my accent. They assume I'm trying to take something from them or mug them, which was really hard for us to hear. We then asked him whether how this has affected his perspective of Spain. And he said he understood that there are people like that wherever he goes, but he still loves Barcelona as a city, and it is his home. We then lastly asked him whether he felt a part of the Spanish and Catalan culture. He said definitely at times. He's been here for 7 years now, but there are other times where he may feel like he's not wanted, and that he wasn't fully integrated into society.
All right, so we started off our research with two people that said yes, talking to us about their integration into Spain, those two being Maria and Abdul. After that, we went to 2 or 3 more people and got denied before Hassan agreed to do an interview with us. They didn't feel comfortable being on camera, which could be for a variety of reasons. One of them being illegal immigrants definitely came into our minds. This was because all the class discussions we had and articles that we were provided with in Moodle, such as Cuesta Crisis, the miners on the front line of migration chaos by El País. This mentioned how over 7,500 people were sent home at the beginning of the start of migration summer last year, and mentioned like some of the kids' perspectives on living. They're living in shipping containers in terrible situations, and we felt like we didn't need to push showing these people's faces on camera if they had any personal connection to that, and just out of respect for themselves and their lives.
Yeah, we kind of just wanted to respect them because, they were so willing to be in our interview and talk to us. So we didn't feel that we needed to push, them being on camera too much. We do have some pictures and actually we'll provide those as well. But overall, I think it really just gave us a perspective on life in Barcelona and the different groups and how they're treated in relation to each other. This made me think of the article for our presentation specifically titled Spain Emerges as the EU's New Weak Link for African Migration. It talked a lot about the Moroccan and Spain border and how it's under strong control. Although many Moroccans are getting through this year, the migration policies are making it harder for them to stay here. We thought we could tie that to our interviews as well because all three of the people are from Morocco. So, we could relate to them in that sense, talk about the borders a little bit and the migration policies. It really made us appreciate how fortunate we are to come from, where we come from, and be able to study abroad in a place like this, a place where people want to go and have a better life. It just really made us appreciate it. And honestly, it was a great experience, I think, I don't know for me, but for you, it was a pretty good experience for me.
Yeah, I think it was a great experience, probably for both of us and a lot of our friends. Just getting to experience everything and a bunch of new cultures, whether it be a lot of people from Northern Africa, the Middle East, or just other parts in Europe. It was just very interesting getting a whole different perspective than you would have gotten, whether it be on a YouTube video or anywhere else.
Yep, I agree. Thank you.